sure I don't make that mistake again. Our next map, Dusk Towers 2.0. It is spawning in the bottom left. The Green Terran, Aquaron. And his opponent. Spawning in the top right-hand corner of Orbital Shipyard. It's Strange. It's actually not strange to be spawning in this location because it is one of the 2 spawning locations, so it's actually not strange. Sorry, sometimes I say things that aren't true. I try to stick to true things, but occasionally falsehoods come out and, you know, don't judge. You say things that aren't true too sometimes. You do. Sometimes on your purpose, you know, sometimes on your mistake, if you have one of those. You know, if you're Flash, you don't. You actually don't make mistakes and you're perfect. But for the rest of us, we have to deal. And let's see if Strange opens normally or cancels his Nexus. Those are really the 2 possible scenarios that I'm looking at right now. He's in position. Nice expansion. Again, this is that nice, comfortable build right in the middle of the road. Solid style where you can get some scouting in. You can react to your opponent. This time around, Aquaron is going for 1 gas and a Reaper and an expansion. Much more normal, much more comfortable as well. We're going to see the probe not scout the expansion, but does scout the 1 gas and the timing of the Parax. So in that kind of a situation, you can almost always say, oh, okay, I think I know what's up. Looks like a normal build. Last time you had 2 gases and didn't even build a Reaper. This time, don't have to worry about it too much. But there's still always that weird mentality, right? That sort of weird catch in your mind where it's sort of like, man, he did something crazy last game and it was awful and hard to defend. It's like, what if he does something crazy again? And you gotta be very careful not to let that get away from you, especially being behind in the best of 3. For a little bit of perspective, whoa, Twilight counts before second gate. We're teching up over here. For a bit of perspective, though, before this Reaper comes in, this is a best of 3 in a GSL-style group. So you have to be defeated twice to be eliminated. You have to win twice to win. So this game will decide who moves on to the winner's match. And I love this, chasing down the Reaper with the Shade. They are of similar speed, and so you can give chase. But jumping over cliffs apparently is quite good and helping you stay alive. The Reaper is going to be utilizing that cliff jumpification. That's a cliff jumpification is the technical term for the ability to jump up and down cliffs in StarCraft 2. And they have that noun attributed to them. So we've got Aquaron coming in. Nice scout. He's going to see everything. Sees the Twilight Council researching. Not going to be able to get away from that pylon. I mean, it was hard to get away from pylons that overcharged the Reaper before, but now that the attack speed has increased, it's even more difficult. But you do burn 50 energy of your opponent instead of just 25. Really nice change in the most recent patch. So we have here gathering up some Marines, and Twilight Robo is kind of that central location of where TVP is at, or I should say PVT. And we have Aquaron going for quite a bit of Marines here. Directly into Stim and Medivacs. No Marauders built at all. Just sticking on this heavy Marine count. It is a little bit more reasonable. It kind of opens it up to be able to go for heavier Marine, especially in the beginning of the game, because the Adept 3 hits Marines instead of 2. Do keep in mind it does create that critical upgrade where if Purus gets +1 attack before you get +1 armor as a Terran player, then their Adepts will rip you to shreds. And it is quite frightening. Strange getting into position to take that third base. And Aquaron doesn't know it yet, but he's the aggressor in this scenario. Not the defender. We'll be throwing down a bunker just in case. A little bit afraid. This is a very well timed out movement of these. Just completely unupgraded Marines. Fantastic. That is phenomenal. That is so good for Acheron. Basically, Strange. Strange's main advantage was that early third base, and now we have the Terran player building the third base first. Not on the low ground, but still building ahead of time. And you sort of, with your drops, right? So Strange sees the drops coming in, knows it's a possibility, knows it's happening, and you also have this Liberator. It's really tough for Strange to feel safe enough to move out and take a third base. And that's just going to put Acheron more and more ahead as the game goes on, especially once that orbital command gets finished and landed in position. +1 and attack speed for Adepts is on the way. If he can hit at that point in time, it is going to be real scary. Combat shields, though, will counteract the critical attack upgrade, at least. So it will be a very, very small window of time to get basically insane cost efficiency of Adepts versus Marines. And that window is beginning in about 10 seconds and will last for only about 30 seconds or so. And it looks like might actually work out perfectly for Strange. He might engage just before combat shields. Whoa! Nope, he's not going the same way. Oh, this is scary. Scan there is gonna just barely miss getting this observer. Oh my god, third base canceled again. Acheron is looking amazing. This is such a good position. That's the second cancel on the third base. Now all of Strange's units, they went home for a second and then they changed their mind. They're like, oh wait, forget about it. I'm just gonna defend. Sentries in place, and this is where it gets crazy. Gotta defend and attack at the same time, both players do. And I'm gonna go ahead and lose some stalkers there. Really nice defense over here from Acheron. You see a stim was cast there. Oh, nicely baited out. Ooh, some luck. Excellent. Strange. I shouldn't say luck. Skill. Movement prediction. Predicted that drop, was in position for it, took it down, took no losses. Strange really needed that. He's still very much behind in this game overall, especially once Acheron lands that third CC, which is on its way right now. Oh, and that's wow, that was very interesting. Coming with the flank and landing at the same time. The bio is very strong, but the tanks, the main deal of that attack, get taken out. Acheron does have the more mobile composition and will be able to retreat until that blink comes on top. I'm going to have to spend another stim to try to save his units, and all that time they're not healing as well. So this is a very scary counter push, but Acheron's got plenty at home. He's got, I think, a tank, maybe two. Second tank just barely coming out over here. Third tank, excuse me. There we are. And this is looking like a pretty good defense here for Acheron. Strange using this moment in time to take that third base, but with that scout, Strange is very aware that he's behind. Okay. Very heavy adept composition here. +1 defense, still not done for the bio. And moving over to the side here. Interesting positioning. Maybe considering a blink forward into the main. Force field goes down. I don't know how good it's going to do. Oh, wow. Immortal getting really aggressive here, trying to jump up and target down the tank. Tankovac takes care of that in a moment. But this third CC, very important, is getting pushed away. That's a lot of lost economy right now. So much money is being lost. Oh my god, he doesn't close the door! He's like, come up here and hang out on my high ground, bro. No problems. I don't worry about it. Attacks from all angles over here, but Acheron might just have too much. Totally not afraid of this army at all. Just pure power of the Terran crushing through here. Fantastic. Acheron has looked excellent this whole game and continues to do so. I don't think he needs the boys anymore. I think he can bring those boys back home. Bring the boys back home. Hope you got some... Out of the 13 of you, I hope one of you is a Pink Floyd fan. And we'll get that reference. Otherwise, it's just me. And that's okay. We do have Acheron. Again, supply lead. Has had that third base up for longer. And we are... It is so strange looking at the map from this angle. I don't even know what's going on. I'm just like, what map is this? I was like, oh my god, it's Orbital Shipyard. There's actually, for a while, Artosis was contemplating holding down his button that shifts the angle and keeping it that way the whole time. Big warping of Adepts here. It's a very strong position for them to be in. They're going to start hitting those... oh, wait, excuse me. No, they're not. One armor did finish, so still 3 hits on the workers, unfortunately. But a lot of workers killed, 16. Very nicely done. Overall, Acheron still in a pretty good spot. Really, oh, God. I hate playing this map against Terran because of that exact tank position. It is so brutal, and Acheron very intelligently using that to its best ability. These units will be taken out quite quickly, but look at this push. The gully push is real. Fern Gully push 2.0. So strong. And this is a very difficult to hold position here for Acheron. Once again, the tanks are knocking on the front door of Strange. Strange does not want to let them in, but eventually they're just going to kick down the door and come have a party in your house, which is not what you want. Tanks are very sort of messy. They break important things. Your parents will come home. They will say, would you let a tank in the house or something? And you'd be like, yeah, well, you know, you just kind of can't stop them at some point. And Strange's got to be quite frustrated at this point in time. Played a much better game overall, but it's one of those situations where Acheron is pretty much ahead every step of the way and continue to roll that aggression and advantage forward throughout. And at this point in time, you know, what's happened here is this is a sort of, you know, this is a slaughterhouse, right? And this is where we're just waiting for one of the animals to bleed out. And then that's it. That's what's happening to Strange right now. Strange has been injured and is bleeding out somewhere. Somewhere on Orbital Shipyard. That's exactly where, actually. OFU in the chat, by the way. What's up, dude? Patron of the esports. Supporter of the humans. And... Yep. And he's going to move in here, but he actually doesn't have to. That's how good his position is right now. Or he just... I think that was Romaner force fields. He force fielded them all in one spot. And then said, GG. And that's it. So, excellently played there. Quick 2-0. Very strong performance by Acheron. Haven't seen him play before, but almost reminds me a little bit of Lucifron, just because the names are similar and they're both Spanish Terran players, but who knows? Really great positional play. Great use of tanks. And Acheron's got a full Protoss group. All the people in the group left are Protoss, so we'll get to see at least one more series of his Protoss coming up. But before that, we have to have our second match of the day. The PvP will be Pox versus Ray Rain, which is, by the way, one of the funnest names to say. If you haven't said it out loud yet, say it out loud. Ray Rain. It's fantastic. And go ahead to patreon.com/RSL and support so that we can have bigger, better tournaments. And that means bigger, better players, higher caliber, everything. You know, champagne, streamers, confetti, giant trophies, you know, Madison Square Garden. Who knows? Who knows? Just contribute to the Patreon, Anything is possible. We'll be right back after this.